friend. How can I help you?
Yeah, hey, it's kind of embarrassing situation we got here. I was drawing my opening hand after I mulliganed, and I accidentally drew 8 cards.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Well, this will be a hidden zone error.
Good. Tell me how you do it. You got this.
Well, to resolve this hidden zone error, you would have to, I believe. Yep.
Yep.
For this, I will have to issue you a warning for the extra card, hidden card error.
Yep.
I would like to ask you to reveal your hand to your opponent. They will select a card from your hand that will be shuffled into your deck.
All right. So I am wanting to make sure that I understand the ruling. You're ruling that this is a mulligan procedure or a hidden card error because I drew an extra card, and because of that, I'll be showing my hand to my opponent, and he'll select one to shuffle into my library. Is that the ruling that you're issuing, Judge?
Yes, this is the ruling I'm issuing.
All right. So now that we've issued the ruling, we can talk about like how everyone thought it went. So first of all, what would you say is your percent confidence that what you just said is the correct policy supported fix, infraction penalty and fix for this situation?
Well, honestly, I would say I'm about.
Yeah, this is like honesty policy.
Yeah,
like
so
obviously when
basically,
you're
like,
when you're talking to the player, you want to be confident, but
yeah.
like we want
Yeah.
real information here, not like bravado. So
Yeah.
what would you say your like percent confidence would be?
Like 85%. I would have double checked if there's some form mulligan procedure that could have been done.
All right. How about you, Alvin?
This is the one I would sit on.
So you're fairly confident that the ruling as delivered was correct?
Access cards arising from improper mulligan, gameplay error, hidden card error, and 2 few cards violation. It could go to mulligan procedure error as well.
All right.
But
So
I think we were on the right path.
okay. So what is the difference between a mulligan procedure error and a hidden card
Number
error?
of cards in hand. Well, no, there's more to that. The player makes an error with one of the steps of the mulligan process. When the mulligan process is completed, the game begins. The excess cards arising from an improper mulligan is a gameplay error, hidden card error. So you're having too many cards at the start of the game. So that says it would be a hidden card error, which then it says a player who commits a hidden.
Technically, he also didn't start the game. He just noticed his opening hand. He didn't resolve mulligans yet.
Yeah.
But that's why it's not looking at extra cards. It's in his hand already.
Okay.
Looking at extra cards is like, oh, I saw something I wasn't supposed to.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I don't know if either of you. I know you haven't, and I don't know if you have. But what I like to do for when I'm like doing rulings, it's important to have like a framework that you can go with. So the framework I like to use is you want to first identify the correct infraction, and then based on that, you would figure out what the appropriate penalty and fix that's associated with that infraction would be. Okay. So step 1, what is the appropriate infraction for this situation? Now, we had a couple of ideas kicked around. We had a mulligan procedure error kicked around. We had a hidden card error. And from the conversation that we just had, it sounds to me like your opinion is that the appropriate infraction is a hidden card error based on the scenario. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So one thing when you're determining the correct infraction is like you want to pick the infraction that is like the most specific to the thing that happened. So the situation as given was I drew 8 cards after mulliganing. So we haven't kept my opening hand yet, so I'm still in the mulligan process.
Yeah.
And I drew 8 cards. Now, to me, that sounds like mulligan procedure error.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Because like
be
that.
more specific.
That would be a lot, to me, mulligan procedure error sounds a lot more specifically tailored towards the thing that happened than hidden card error. So it sounds to me like maybe you were confused about some of the statements that you read in the mulligan procedure error entry. So let's go over that briefly then. The player makes an error in this one of the steps of the mulligan process. Okay, so far so good, right? Because that's exactly what happened. Once the mulligan process is complete and the game begins, extra cards arising from an improper mulligan is treated as a hidden card error. So that sentence is not applicable to this situation because the mulligan process is not complete and the game has not begun. So that means that we still are in the territory of a mulligan procedure. So therefore that is in fact the appropriate infraction to issue in this situation.
Yep.
Okay, so now that we have that established, we can see the penalty would still be a warning, and the fix would be for the player to take an additional mulligan. Okay, so what is the fix that you would issue in this specific situation then?
Shuffle your hand in, and you go to
Go to assume. Well, I would ask like, what was your initial hand count supposed to be?
Okay, so that's a great question because, as it turns out, I had already mulliganed once in this game. So this is not my original 7, or
Okay.
So in fact, if I had correctly done this mulligan, I would be going to 6 cards. So now, because of this mulligan procedure error that I've committed, the appropriate fix would be to have the mulligan now down to 5 cards. All right. So, is that everybody feels good about that? Any questions about?
Yeah, no, I think I was confused about where the mulligan procedure in the beginning sentence there, where it says improper mulligan game hidden. I thought we went to hidden card error from there because the fact you had too many cards.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
so that's good.
But yeah, because the game officially did not start, that's why it's still a mulligan.
Yes, and that makes sense, right? Like, if you think,
Yeah.
not even thinking about, like, judging or rulings or anything, if you were to ask someone, what infraction just happened, I think most people would probably say mulligan procedure error, even if they didn't get to read, like, anything else about what that infraction was supposed to be, right? Like, if you had that on a multiple choice test and you gave it to a bunch of people who didn't even play Magic, probably that's the answer. And so at least that part makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Just like even out of the game, like mentally, I was thinking as like, why doesn't he just pick a card randomly and just shuffle in his deck or something like that, as a sort of fix, even though a proper one is just take another mulligan.
Yeah, and that is an interesting point.
Versus like being like thought seized.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. I think the reasoning behind that would be like, let's say that I'm drawing my opening hand, right? So here's my 7, and whoo boy, that's a lot of lands. So I'm encouraged now to take
to do so.
because
Yeah.
now if I were to randomly take one of these, I'm randomly like favored to take one of these lands and shuffle away. So by committing this infraction, I'm actually incentivized to commit the infraction because I am statistically favored to get a more favorable outcome. So I believe that's the reason why the policy is written, so that you're actually just starting completely fresh rather than doing what you had proposed there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's incentivizing players to
Sorry, thank you for
misconduct.
that, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.